I believe that I've had BPD since I was very young, but I wasn't formally diagnosed until I was about 17 years old.
Borderline personality disorder, or BPD for short, is typically an impact on someone in terms of a set of personality traits that we see replicated in their mood swings and their relationships with others, in how they view themselves or self-concept, and then also oftentimes in impulsivity as well.
Three words I would use to describe my life with BPD would be confusing, insightful, and beautiful.
Challenging, isolating, but also I've had opportunities for growth.
So BPD usually means that someone is really struggling to put all of these things together and that they end up having really difficult relationships, whether that's with their workplace, their friends and family, or broader community, and that they can sometimes experience a sense of deep loneliness or isolation or feeling cut off from those around them.
My primary symptoms were a very intense fear of abandonment and impulsive actions that resulted from those fears. With BPD, there's a lot of emotional dysregulation. I personally experience emotions really intensely, which is awesome when I'm happy and when good things are going on. It's devastating when something even small to other people happens and I am just set off course. Like a small comment, a small thing in my day happening will affect me really severely.
I constantly still see this idea that BPD is associated with abusive behaviors and that people with BPD can't be held accountable if they were to have abusive behaviors. And as a survivor myself, that is incredibly harmful because it's really hard for me to personally be associated with those ideas, as, mental illness can be a reason for certain behaviors, but it's certainly never going to be an excuse.
Some of the common myths associated with BPD is that it impacts women only. We actually know that it impacts a wide variety of individuals regardless of their gender background. Another myth that sometimes is associated with that as well is that it can impact individuals of minority sexual orientation groups at a higher rate.
I think the biggest misconception that I've experienced and heard is that people with BPD are manipulative. It's hard to carry around that preconceived notion of what my intentions are.
Sometimes care access is more limited for individuals with BPD because there is the common misconception that the traits and symptoms that they bring forward to the table are difficult for a commonplace clinician to treat. In actuality, this is a perpetuation of mental health stigma. Many individuals with BPD symptoms have fully treatable cases available.
I wish the general public knew that there are symptoms that are scary, but that probably means that me as a person experiencing them is scared too. So don't be scared of me for experiencing something that you don't understand. Learn about it and we can support each other through those scary moments.
What we actually know to be the case is that, again, there's a number of individuals out there with BPD symptoms that are quite functional in their day-to-day lives and managing their relationships with others and managing themselves. It's just making sure that they have the skill sets in place that help them reorient to the world when they're struggling more with those impulsivity concerns or mood swings or distrust in relationships.
All things considered, I'm doing really well, and I'm leaning into carrying out actions that lead to a future that I want to see rather than allowing myself to sink into hopelessness.
I think that BPD is one of the less palatable of the mental illnesses. And I just wish that the general public would extend the same compassion and understanding towards people with BPD as they do to people with other physical and mental illnesses.